So, I've been thinking about my journey and how far I have come and different stages throughout my life where I realized that something needed to change. And each time, cuz I went through a lot of my life hating myself. And the first instance, well, maybe not the first instance, but the first instance where I was just like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Where I was just like, I'm not going to keep avoiding the mirror because I had absolutely hated myself my whole life. I didn't spend more time in the mirror than I really needed to. It took me so many tries to take a single picture. And even my perceived best picture, I still absolutely hated. And looking back on that person now, looking back at those pictures now, don't make me feel like it's an image to hate. But yeah, looking back at those pictures, I don't hate those pictures. I actually think I'm really cute. But I didn't at the time that I took them. And it made me realize that like the first time I actually stopped avoiding the mirror rather than just thinking why do I have to hate myself? Why is that the only way I feel like I can continue to, exist? I actually I looked into the mirror for a long time, longer than I ever had before. And I was just like, I don't like what I see. And it wasn't that it was my appearance because that wasn't what I was seeing. But the person that I was looking at was not happy. They were not happy. They weren't even themselves. They were some kind of chimera of what other people wanted them to be. And so I decided that I wanted to change. And so in that mirror, I decided, I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to hate myself anymore. I don't want it to be acceptable for me to hate myself in order for me to be accepted anywhere. And if I have to hate myself to be accepted, then I don't want to be accepted. And it's funny because I always thought that, you know, we always over glorify people hating themselves too damn much. And it doesn't make sense. It's perfectly okay for you to hate yourself, but God forbid you show any love to yourself and then it's a problem. Then you're conceited, then you're not humble, then you're not, you're just a arrogant person. And to me, that's just a way for them to take power out of the hands of the person. And by loving yourself, you're giving yourself that power back. So yeah, one of the first times I actually decided fully to make that decision, I decided to change. And as I decided to change, shit started to hit the motherfucking fan. I did not get along with the people that I had in my vicinity anymore because they were only used to that version of me. the one that hated herself. And I decided that I didn't want to anymore. And as I started, I was changing in small adjustments. I was deciding to look at the mirror longer now and to actually take my time in the mirror for more than just, essentials. Because honestly, I didn't really spend too much time in the mirror. I did as much as I needed to for like my hair, and I never looked in my eyes like enough to see that I'm washing my face, brushing my teeth, doing my hair, that's it. But never to like really look at myself. And as I started to make these small adjustments, the people around me started to get agitated, like really agitated, almost dangerously so in some cases. And I was just like, why can't I just change and you just accept that? And I was just like, you know what? If they can't accept me changing, then I don't want to be in this position anymore. And then I began to wonder, like, why can't we just amicably part ways? Just be like, my journey with you really ends here, and that's okay. Maybe it's painful. Maybe I'll cry about it. Maybe it'll feel like it'll absolutely destroy me, but I can't continue to live in the shadow of a me that I cannot be anymore. But some people are not willing to let go. And so they do everything that they can to keep you around and still try to force you to be that person that you can't be anymore. No matter how hard you try, you could go back to pretending, you could do all of that stuff. But deep down, you've already changed once you made that decision that you don't want to be that person anymore. In making that decision, you've already changed. And so there is no amount of pretending, there is no amount of hiding, there is no amount of, doing everything that they want you to do that's going to make you that person again. The change was internal, first and foremost, before anything. And that was like one of the starts for me. But then it happened again, where another part of my life, and I'm just like avoiding the mirror again. And I got to the point where I am back looking at the mirror and saying, I don't like this person. I need to change. And so I changed again, and the same thing happened. All hell breaks loose. People around me are getting agitated. They're not liking this new version of me that I've barely even realized into any kind of action. It was just a decision that I made within my own mind. There's a dragonfly hitting up against the window. And again, it started internally. And it's things like that send shockwaves through the world. Your decisions, the decisions that you make from the core of your being, send shockwaves through the world, and people can sense it before you even take action. So, if you don't like who you are in the mirror, take a little more time to look at it and see why. Beyond the cosmetic differences, look deeper. And maybe you'll figure out exactly why.